so I'm gonna actually be pulling out this, and this is what your seawater, raw water, goes through. And it's got some stuff through it. Let's see, let me use the light. Some of them are completely clogged. And
all right, here we are back with everything. Got the sea strainer on. I am working on the heat exchanger now. I've noticed in one of my boots, which is right here, that there are burn marks on the bottom of it. See that? To prevent that, this guy had exhaust wrapped this. You see that I've got like a little piece of exhaust wrap hanging off there, and the cable's loose. I'm gonna cut a piece of that exhaust wrap off and put it right here between the exhaust and the heat exchanger coupling, the rubber coupling. There's like barely any gap there. I'm gonna fold that in half, do a double stack underneath there, and slip that coupling back on there to where it pinches it in between. That way, it prevents the deterioration and melting of my boot.
I wasn't gonna film me pushing this rod through these holes. This one already cleaned. Passes through pretty easy, right? The last one I did too. Some of these, like that right there. Like, what did I just hit? Little update. Some of these are extremely just like clogged. So I've had to hook up my drill because they get stuck sometimes. All right, so a little quick conclusion segment of the video. I'm going to show you how it kind of goes back together and explain how it all works.
So the boots that we were cleaning off that hook up to the heat exchanger, this is your heat exchanger on the Perkins Ford 108. This boot is what you want to pull out first. This 90-degree angle turn right here usually catches a bunch of bullshit. If you don't have a heat exchanger on, this is where your raw water side comes from. This is your impeller right here. See what I'm talking about? Impeller goes out, comes into this right here. All right, so this coupling gets fastened to that one big pipe with a bunch of tubes in it. That gets fastened with this. This fastens this coupling to the heat exchanger. Coolant is inside the heat exchanger. Your raw water goes through that pipe with a bunch of tubes straight through and out the back here to your exhaust, okay? So these two clamps, these two hose clamps do two different things. This secures this coupling to the heat exchanger and this to that big pipe. That big pipe is gonna be a little bit too short to really seat correctly in this coupling, and that coupling, you are gonna have to displace it evenly to be able to get those hose clamps. You can see where my hose clamp is now further right here forward than it was originally because I really wanted to get it as far forward to grab that pipe. And the same thing here, I went as far forward as possible. I actually pushed on the coupling like this and it all seemed to work out great. I've been running it for days now. I've made another few hundred miles, or a couple hundred miles actually, sorry. I am currently now basically West Palm, right north of West Palm. So heading down to the Keys, be working on this thing nonstop. I've actually scrubbed this thing clean, got all the whites white, I got all the blues blue. You know, I wiped down all the roof, the ceiling panels. It's been raining and I'm traveling alone now, so I didn't want the wind to affect me like yesterday. I've got 7 drawbridges to go through in the next 30 miles. So wish me luck. This is Captain Sparrow signing off.